My name is Agatha Haines. I did two projects that I showed for my final show that were both sort of about biological design. One of them, Transfigurations, is about modifying babies. So the idea of the project is, looking at things that parents might do to their children to benefit them later in life. So with global warming, might you have a different head shape to dissipate heat? And then the other project was about designing organs that might benefit our health. The actual project came about from my thesis, which I wrote about bioprinting, which is a lot of research is going into bioprinting at the moment, mainly at the Wake Forest University. It's really interesting. Basically, you can print. You can basically print biological material. It's almost like a 3D printer. So the idea of the organs was I was imagining things that we have in nature that we could put together to create different functions. So I sort of looked at a health issue and how you might be able to use things in nature to benefit the health issue. So the organ is almost like an extra organ that you might have. The idea of amalgamating things from our bodies and things from nature. I think even though a lot of people find some of the work a little bit disturbing, I think they also kind of agree with it in a way, because the issues are often health related. So if it's an idea that could potentially move your, be better for your health, then people seem to respond to it in a different sort of way. Yeah. So you may have thought that the creation of life was going to happen in a scene not dissimilar to Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, but actually this is sort of what Frankenstein's laboratory looks like, and it's called a bioprinter. This is researched at the moment, and it's a really interesting piece of technology, taking ordinary technology from a normal office printer. You could replicate cells and print them layer on layer to produce tissues or even organs, like really complex structures. So it's really fascinating to think that it might make us start looking at the body almost as a system of interchangeable parts. So if we could look at ourselves in that way, then what other things might we need, or how might we create new parts that are better than the parts that we have now? So a lot of the things that have been designed at the moment that exist, like extensions of the body, have actually come about as a result of disability. So this is Neil Habison, and as you can see, he's got a third eye. He was born colorblind, and this eye recognizes color and transfers it into frequencies, so he can then hear color as sound. And Amy Mullins is a really interesting example of this. You guys probably know her as she was the first person to wear the carbon fiber running legs. And she's had an amazing career, and she now does talks about the future of prosthesis, looking at where her legs were amputated. She was born with fibula hemimelia, so she had to have both of her lower legs amputated. But she does talks now about, rather than looking at the space where her legs used to be as a loss, looking at what could be there now. And she actually formed a surge of designs for new prosthesis, some of which she wore for Matthew Barney's Cremaster cycle, which you can see there. Creativity can open up amazing opportunities. And also I think the thing that's interesting about creativity is that I think it spans so many different disciplines, which is really amazing. And I think the idea of bringing people from different disciplines together to benefit creativity, which at the moment is happening a lot with lots of different transdisciplinary projects, could be a really amazing way to forward design and other subjects.